Welcome back to Car Talk Han, the channel where we don't just look at cars, we live with them, we feel them, and today, my friends, we've got something seriously special sitting right behind me. The 2027 Chevrolet Corvette. Yeah, you heard that right, the all-new Corvette Stingray, fresh off the assembly line with a brand new heart beating under that fiberglass and carbon skin. I've been waiting weeks to get my hands on this thing, and now that it's finally here, parked right in front of me, I gotta tell you, the pictures online do not do this car justice. There's a presence to it, a stance, that just hits different in person. So buckle up, grab a coffee, settle in, because we're going bumper to bumper on this thing. Engine, interior, tech, how it actually drives, who should buy it, and my honest, no BS final verdict. Let's get into it. Let's start with the big news, because Chevy didn't just give the 2027 Corvette a fresh coat of paint and call it a day. They went and built an entirely new engine for it. This is the LS6, a 6.7-liter naturally aspirated V8, and it replaces the outgoing LT2. We're talking 535 horsepower and 520 pound-feet of torque, which, if you're keeping score at home, is a jump of 40 horses and 50 pound-feet over last year's base Stingray. That is not a small bump. GM gave this engine forged pistons and rods, a 13.0 to 1 compression ratio, the highest ever in a Corvette, and this wild tunnel ram intake with a 95mm throttle body that just screams performance the second you pop the hood. It still breathes without a turbo or supercharger strapped to it, which as an enthusiast, genuinely makes me happy. There's something pure about a naturally aspirated V8 that revs out and just sings. No turbo lag, no artificial boost curve, just raw mechanical honesty. Now let's talk numbers that actually matter when the light turns green. Chevrolet is claiming a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of just 2.8 seconds for the base Stingray, and a quarter-mile run of 11 seconds flat at 124 miles an hour. Let that sink in for a second. This is the entry-level Corvette, the cheapest one you can buy, and it's running quarter-mile times that would have embarrassed exotic supercars a decade ago. Top speed comes in at a genuinely wild 200 miles an hour, which actually makes the base Stingray the fastest top-speed Corvette in the entire lineup, faster even than the wide-body Z06, because it doesn't have all that extra bodywork dragging it down. Power gets sent through a standard 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, and let me tell you, this gearbox is razor-sharp. Shifts happen in the blink of an eye. No hesitation, no clunkiness, just smooth, immediate response every single time you pull that paddle. Walking around the exterior, this car just oozes confidence. The mid-engine layout Chevy introduced a few generations back completely transformed the Corvette's proportions, and for 2027, they've sharpened everything even further. The front end has this aggressive, almost predatory stance with these narrow, angular headlights that cut into the fender, and the hood sits low, almost flush, giving you that supercar silhouette without the supercar price tag. Around the side, you've got these dramatic character lines flowing into the intakes that feed the engine, and depending on the trim, you can get functional vents that aren't just for show. They're actually pulling air to cool that new LS6 under hard use. The rear is where it really gets dramatic, with that wide stance, the quad exhaust setup if you go for the optional center exit pipes, and a design language that honestly looks like it belongs in a much higher price bracket than what Chevy's charging. Step inside, and this is where the 2027 Corvette genuinely surprises people who haven't sat in a modern one before. Gone are the days of cheap plastics and questionable build quality that Corvettes used to get roasted for online. This cabin feels driver-focused in a way that few cars at this price point manage. The dashboard wraps around you, angled toward the driver, almost like a fighter jet cockpit. And there's this squared-off steering wheel that took some getting used to, but honestly grew on me fast because of how much better it makes tight corners feel. The seats hug you in all the right places, especially if you spring for the competition seats. And the materials, the stitching, the leather, the carbon fiber trim if you option it, all feel genuinely premium. Not just premium for a Chevy, but premium period. Technology-wise, Chevy really stepped up their game here. You get this dual-screen setup, a digital driver display right in front of you that's fully configurable, showing everything from a track-focused layout with big touch numbers to a simplified daily driver view. Then there's this narrow, vertical infotainment strip running down the center console that houses climate controls and infotainment functions. It's a divisive design choice. I'll admit, some people love it, some find it fiddly, but once you learn where everything lives, it becomes second nature. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, which is a relief because nobody wants to be plugging in cables in a $73,000 sports car in 2027. The Bose premium audio system, if you option it, genuinely rivals systems in cars costing twice as much, with crisp highs and bass that doesn't rattle the cabin apart. Now here's the part you've all been waiting for. How does this thing actually feel from behind the wheel? I took it out on some twisty back roads and then let it stretch its legs on the highway. And honestly, the transformation this car goes through depending on your mood is remarkable. In everyday mode, it's shockingly livable. The ride quality, especially with the available magnetic selective ride control 4.0, soaks up bumps and rough pavement way better than you'd expect from something with this much performance DNA. You could genuinely daily this car without your spine filing a complaint. But flip it into track or sport mode, and everything changes instantly. The throttle sharpens up, the exhaust note deepens into this aggressive, almost angry snarl, and the steering weight increases just enough to make every input feel intentional and connected. What really struck me on the back roads was how planted this car feels through corners, especially compared to older front-engine Corvettes. That mid-engine layout puts the weight right where you want it, low and centered. So when you turn in, there's this immediate, confident rotation instead of that nose-heavy push you'd get in the old C6 or C7 generations. Braking is equally impressive. Even on the standard iron brakes, stopping power feels strong and fade-resistant. And if you go for the Z51 package, you're getting even sharper responses. The steering itself has this natural weight buildup as you add lock, communicating exactly what the front tires are doing, which honestly is something a lot of modern sports cars have lost in the pursuit of electric assist convenience. Let's talk money, because this is genuinely one of the most compelling value propositions in the entire sports car world right now. Base pricing for the 2027 Corvette Stingray lands right around $73,495, including destination. And for that price, you are getting supercar rivaling acceleration, a top speed that beats cars costing 3 or 4 times as much, and a mid-engine layout that used to be reserved exclusively for Italian exotics. When you step back and actually think about what Chevy is offering here for under 75 grand, it starts to feel almost unfair to everything else in this price bracket. This isn't a car that makes you compromise to hit a price point. It feels like Chevy engineered the best car they could and then figured out how to make it accessible rather than the other way around. Now let's get into some real competition, because no review is complete without cross-shopping. First up, the Porsche 911 Carrera, a legendary nameplate, beautifully built, with that classic flat-six sound and razor-sharp handling that's been refined over 6 decades. But here's the thing, a comparable Carrera starts north of $120,000, nearly double what you're paying for the Corvette, and the Chevy actually beats it in a straight line. The Nissan Z is another interesting comparison. It's got charm, retro styling, and a punchy twin-turbo V6, but it simply doesn't have the outright performance numbers or the mid-engine sophistication the Corvette brings to the table. And honestly, the interior quality gap has closed dramatically in Chevy's favor. Then there's the Toyota Supra, a fantastic little sports car in its own right, but it's playing in a different weight class entirely when you put the numbers side by side. The Corvette is simply faster, more powerful, and arguably more special to actually own. Let's talk about who this car is actually built for, because I think that matters more than people realize. This is for the enthusiast who wants genuine supercar performance and presence without needing to justify a 6-figure loan payment to their spouse or their accountant. It's for the daily commuter who refuses to sacrifice excitement for practicality, because let's be honest, this car has more usable trunk space between the front and rear compartments than you'd expect from something this fast. It's for the weekend track day warrior who wants a car capable of humiliating far more expensive machinery when the flag drops. And it's for anyone who just fundamentally believes that American performance engineering has finally, truly caught up to the European greats. Because with this car, I genuinely think it has. Let's get honest about the pros here, because there's a lot to love. The performance per dollar is simply unmatched in this segment. Nothing else on sale gets you 2.8 second 0 to 60 times and 200 miles per hour top speeds for under $75,000. The mid-engine handling balance transforms the driving experience compared to older Corvette generations, giving you that exotic feeling rotation through corners. The interior quality has taken a massive leap forward, finally feeling appropriate for the price point instead of embarrassingly cheap. The dual-clutch transmission is genuinely one of the best gearboxes in this price range, shifting with authority and precision every single time. And that new LS6 V8 sounds absolutely incredible, with a naturally aspirated growl that turbocharged rivals simply cannot replicate. But I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about the cons too, because this car isn't perfect. That center console button strip is genuinely polarizing. Some days I love the tactile feel of it. Other days I fumbled around looking for the exact button I needed while trying to keep my eyes on the road. Cabin storage is still tighter than I'd like for a car marketed partly as a daily driver, so road trip packing requires some genuine strategy. The exterior styling, while dramatic, isn't universally loved. Some people find it a bit fussy compared to the cleaner lines of European rivals. And resale value, historically speaking, hasn't matched Porsche's rock-solid retained value, though Chevy has been closing that gap generation over generation as build quality and reputation improve. Something else worth mentioning is how this car handles real-world livability, because performance numbers only tell half the story. Visibility out of the mid-engine Corvette has always been a slight concern given the low seating position and the wide rear pillars, and the 2027 model doesn't fully solve that, though the standard rear camera mirror genuinely helps mitigate blind spots. Ground clearance is also something to think about if you've got a steep driveway or frequent speed bumps in your neighborhood, because this car sits low, and while there's a front lift system available as an option, it's something you'll want to factor into your ownership experience rather than something to be surprised by after the fact. I also want to touch on the emotional side of owning this car, because specs and numbers only capture part of what makes a Corvette special. There's something genuinely thrilling about starting this engine up in your garage, hearing that deep V8 rumble settle into an idle, and knowing that underneath you sits an engine that America genuinely engineered from scratch to compete with the best in the world. This isn't a car built by committee trying to check boxes. You can feel the passion baked into every design decision, from the way the seats hold you in place to the way the throttle responds the instant you touch it. Owning this car isn't just about getting from point A to point B quickly. It's about looking forward to every single drive, even the boring grocery run, because this car makes ordinary moments feel a little bit special. So here's my honest, final verdict on the 2027 Chevrolet Corvette, and I don't say this lightly. This is, without question, one of the best performance per dollar sports cars available anywhere in the world right now, full stop. Chevy took an already excellent mid-engine platform and gave it a genuinely more powerful, more characterful engine, wrapped it in an interior that finally feels worthy of the performance underneath, and priced the entire package in a way that makes rivals costing twice as much look genuinely overpriced by comparison. Is it perfect? No, nothing is. The infotainment layout takes adjustment, storage could be better, and it won't satisfy die-hard Porsche loyalists who value badge prestige over raw numbers. But if you want visceral, honest, thrilling performance that won't bankrupt you, the 2027 Corvette isn't just a great choice. It might genuinely be the smartest sports car purchase you can make this year. Alright guys, that's my honest take on the 2027 Chevrolet Corvette, a car that genuinely impressed me more than I expected going in. If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow more than you'd think. Drop a comment down below and let me know, would you take this over a Porsche 911, or are you still Team German Engineering? I read every single comment, so don't be shy. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we've got way more real, honest car reviews coming your way right here on Car Talk On. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.